All right, hello everyone. So we've got Thursday here. This is gold. Let's see what we've got. Now with gold, remember I said this zone is also a buy zone. So we have to be careful here because the market made this big jump and there's a gap here. So if it goes back up again, selling is an option. On the other hand, I did say this is a sideways market on the daily. All right. And that this zone can also be a buy zone. All right. So we still have a lot of room also below. And I think the market will also one day, sooner or later, right, this is going to come and be filled. But since we're using financial astrology, I think we're good to kind of like follow the up and the down move together. Now, this is the daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. Now, on the weekly, you can see we touched that 47, right? 1983. All right, so that's your 1983 there. So if you're following it, 1980. Well, that's 1983 around there. Okay, so we've got 1983.13. All right, 1983.13 is around there. Okay, so basically just shy off that level. And as you can see, the market bounced off here. And that's basically the Astro hour as well. So this is inside the channel, not the best of spots to trade. But yesterday, look, this is an Astro hour. Market came down, back up again into this zone. Astro hour, back down again. So if you're sold again, you should have been okay to do so, not to worry. Now, what to do today? Now, this zone, as you know, Wednesday, if you take a look at Monday, the swing days, I'm always reminding it, Monday and Wednesday on gold was a swing day, right? So we're on Thursday. That's Monday. Market goes down right into Wednesday. If this Wednesday holds, we should pop up. Now, we've got one little option down here at 27, which is 1980, which we are going to keep an eye on. So 1980, 83, as you can see, is there. All right. Is a zone that the market may come and test. But if Wednesday, right, was a swing day, and that might be the low of the week, which is fine, we want to be going long at this zone here. And if we break out, I just drew this line here today, all right? If we break out, so we should push back up into the 1116 zone. On the daily, your first target is going to be this HCL1, which is 1997. So I'm just going to bring this back, which is right there, which is not a great level. Okay, it's a bit close, but still, it's okay. 1997. All right. We've still got a bit of time for the Astro hours to happen. So we'll see how things pan out. And yesterday, let me see if there's a gap here. There's no gap here, no gap there. And the market buying from this zone is also okay. Let me just take a look at the 1 hour chart. If you're using your ATAM strategy, this is also nice to see. Market goes up, coming back down into the zone here, target area. If it does come down here, it's like going up from here is okay to follow up. All right. Now, as you can see here, we've got a big impulse wave, and this is a runner. All right. So if you're going to buy, just make sure you're buying at a level which is, matching where your price and time match. So you can kind of like go with that flow. All right. If I go back into the 15-minute chart, we can just happily wait for these hours. The push should come in. I've written a narrative on the members page, so just go with it. It should be okay. All right. Now, if we end up here somewhere, market might also look for a sell. Today can also be a bit choppy like this. So be mindful. I'm expecting some sudden moves in the New York session. So you've got to be careful for that time zone as well. All right. And that's that. So, buying the lows is okay to push up. Just be careful at these zones. If the market keeps going up, then 43 is 2011, which is there. All right, 2011 on the weekly. I don't see what's going on yet here. All right, so, but as you can see, the market is broken down. All right, and so at the end of the day, when there's a push up, the likelihood of pushing down and going lower in the bigger time frame is a higher probability. So when the market goes up into a place like the HCL1 line, okay, market might look to keep selling down. All right, so be mindful at those moments. On the other hand, like I said, that 2011 is good also to sell because it will cover the gap, and then selling down is not a bad idea. Let's take a look at SP 500. Now, with the SP 500, I did say yesterday as well that this is also a buy zone. If you recall, SP 500 Tuesday was a swing day, and that's your Tuesday. All right. So if you went up, that's good. If you read yesterday's Astro Hours as well, I said the 8 o'clock could bring in a reversal that will push us up into a target by 10 o'clock, which might spill over into the Asia session. All right. So I think that was pretty obvious. And if you follow that Wednesday swing day, market going up is fine. Now, also, Wednesday was a swing day for Dow Jones. We'll look into that later. So what to do with this? Now, this SP 500, if you take a look, it's done a big pullback here. So it's still pretty bullish, and it hasn't closed below that or gone below the previous week's low. Okay. On the monthly as well, we're still pushing up. All right. And that's basically it. So what to do is a bit of a drama. What we can do is, if the market closes this gap, which is the low of, what's that low? 5,014, which is there. All right. So might still come up a little bit here, 5,014. If the market goes into that 5,014 to 26 zone, at an Astro hour, I might sell, selling might not be a bad idea. All right, because it's kind of like retesting there. This is your manipulation. There's still a bit of gap here on the 1 hour chart. So if the market does push up, we'll see. But this is where the daily's gap closes, and that's your manipulation bar, and that's your zone. So what you can do is take this zone at an Astro hour. You can wait for a setup on the smaller time frame. Okay. If you want to buy, if it comes down first, going up there is okay. But if it goes up first in the morning session in New York, the market might be looking to sell off. So that's also an option. Euro dollar daily. Now, yesterday I had a buy order at the euro dollar, and I specifically posted that just to show you as an example. And that was from around here. I think that was an Astro hour, and it took us into the first target, which was the daily pivot for today. So this is where the first target was. I'm just randomly putting these, not like Astro hours. Okay. And then I said, it's got room to go up there. And I did actually post a second time saying, this is probably where the market is going to run out of juice. And if it does continue, I said it'll continue until that time. And as you can see, sideways market spilling into the Asia session. All right. So what to do with the euro dollar? Now, euro dollar, this is not a bad spot to buy, despite the fact that, remember, right, we're looking for an A, B, C down. All right. So in my opinion, my humble opinion, we should break below this and come down here, and then have a, beginning of a new trend should happen. That's my assumption anyway. And if that happens, this is how we want to play the scenario, and, take it from there. Now, this also is all the way in that zone. All right. So it should come into this zone. We're going to be here. In fact, why don't I just put these there? These are a bit obviously far out, but it's good to know because it gives us a long-term heads up. All right. So the market can easily start to break down because it's a short market. As you can see, we just keep pushing down and down. And after all, this is, we can come back all the way down here, and this will be a target here as well. Okay. In my opinion, then we should break it off after a bounce. So coming down here as well. So selling at the high to push down, I think is okay to do so. I just don't like to sell at a support level. All right. This is why I bought yesterday, because on the daily, this was the zone. And I said, well, I don't like to sell at support levels. So I want to buy the support to push up. So today, 41 is 1.0756. 0756 is up here. This is still on the cards. I think selling here is not a bad idea. On the weekly, we don't have 1.0756, but pretty close is 0.7557, which is pretty much there as well. And that's your 44.65. Wait a minute, that can't be right. 1.0756 on the weekly, 44.65, 1.07. Yeah, 45 is up there. Sorry, correct. Okay, so it is up there. So we've got 1.0755, 0778, right? So that's pretty close. And 0778 is up there. And yesterday I did take this zone here, being the weekly pivot, okay, and this zone. So I'm okay if the market pulls up here to sell off. All right, so this zone's okay to sell at Astro hours. If you want to buy, you can buy a dip to push upwards if you like. That's going to be either here on the daily pivot or there. If you want to buy here, it's also not too bad at all, because we're coming up to the Astro hours. So if this matches now, so if the market is around here, let's say my time, which is going to be what, like 9:30, 9:40. So between 9 and 9:40, let's say, which is 8 and 8:40. All right. It's also not bad. 8 and 8:45, let's say. And I also have an Astro hour at 8 o'clock, which is 7 on the platform. And that's not a bad spot either. All right. That's not a bad spot either. If the market does dip down a little bit to come down, this zone is okay to buy. This zone's okay to buy as well. If you want to wait for it, you can also wait for a setup, which means you can let it break out, and on a pullback, you can go up as well. It's not a big deal. All right. So that's how you can play it. I think we're going to push down further, but we want to sell when the market is up, and we don't want to be selling at support. So if the market goes up a little bit, I think selling is the way to go. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. And guys, every day, I mean, I'm usually saying the swing days on Monday, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. So you should always check, on Mondays what the swing days are. Okay, so for NASDAQ, we had Wednesday and Thursday. So that's your Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday, as you can see, market making an up move after that Tuesday. But remember, Tuesday was the SP 500 swing day as well. And when we got swing days for the indices, you got to keep an eye on all of them. And sometimes it could be like every freaking day. So it's a bit of a drama. But because we got the technical analysis plus the swing hours, we're okay. Right? So this is NASDAQ yesterday, right? And here, as you can see, we've got the same kind of setup here. That's your 8 o'clock market shooting up. And I did say here we should have a reversal, and I did say it should go into the Asia session. All right. And here we had this zone plus this zone. And I did say we should end up at a target. That's your target. All right. So hope that panned out well for you. Now we can see that this gap is pretty much closed. On the weekly, there's a big dip and a buy. So the market is still pretty bullish, as you can see, because of buy orders coming in. And actually that doesn't surprise me because of the aspects that's happening this week. All right. And it's like until Friday and even next week a little bit, we've got some still upwards motion possibility towards Friday. What you can do if the market comes down, okay, or from around here, you want to see a place where you can get in. And I did say there might be a sudden move happening in New York. If the market suddenly pulls down into the New York session, then wants to, turn around, then you can use those Astro hours to push up. If the market makes a sudden move up, and then you want to be looking for a place where the market can sell off. And that will be it, basically. around there. Okay, so that's that. So this is already done, as you can see on the weekly there. Okay. I don't have a PST level, do I? Let me just check. On the daily, that's a bit far out at 74, 18,460. On the weekly, we're already right on support resistance there, 73. As you can see, 73.06, and that's 17,805. All right, which is already there. Okay, the market's already there. So this zone's a bit critical. As you can see, the market may also want to sell off from here or carry on going up. If it breaks up, then you can also buy on a pullback at the Astro hour to push further up. It'll be a good intraday trade. Okay, I'm not keen on buying the highs, as you know. So if you want to buy it, buy the lows like here as well at the Dow Jones. And remember, Dow Jones was Wednesday. Okay, and that's your Wednesday happening there, market going up as well. Once again, Tuesday was the SP 500, so the market got excited there and it made those targets there. Okay, now this is an indecision bar here on the Dow Jones. I say we still have a bit of room to push down, but you don't want to be like risking it. The market still has room to cover up here, so going into this level of 38,580 is not a bad idea, which is right on the weekly pivot. So if the market comes up here or slightly higher, selling may not be a bad idea at all. And if it's an Astro hour, it's not a bad idea to sell off as well. If we kind of like, get in there, let's say, for example, like 4:15 to 4:30 my time or 4:15 to 5 p.m. my time is not a bad spot actually for the market to, look for a turnaround. So it's just a matter of seeing, where you are at those hours. So if you're at the highs, you look for a short. If you're at the lows, you want to go for a long. Be mindful of the gaps here, and there's obviously gapping there as well. So sudden moves might just take these out and then push up and surprise everybody. And that, we might have a few sudden moves, like I said, which are unexpected in the market as we get closer to 8 p.m. Bitcoin going ever so higher. Again, here, as you can see. All right, so fair enough. Now, this is still in that zone there. So market pushing further up. I did say we've got a PST breakout. If you want to go long, that's fair enough. Because if the PST indicator breaks out, we don't stand in front of it. I don't anyway. On the other hand, this zone I said is like pretty much on the tops. So this is also a sell level if the market sells. That's 49,114 and 281, which was, I think we marked them in for. No, that was already done. Yeah, that was already gone. Okay, so the market already went way above that. So once the market broke out, as you can see, it keeps pushing up. Now, I did talk about this monthly level here because there's a gap there. So we could still see 53,369. So also this is okay. So not a bit of a 43,369. 53,369. So that is still on the cards, which I talked about before. So no surprises around here, and this is still in that zone there. All right. So that's basically it. Not much else to do around here. Be mindful. Like I said, I don't trade Bitcoin, but if I was to buy it, I would be buying it here. That's for sure. All right. So with Bitcoin, be a bit more mindful. If you bought at the Astro hours. Okay, so this would have been the situation. Let's see, the first hour was 8:05 on the platform, and 8:05 is there. All right, so if somebody bought, that was the beginning, 8:05 until 8:40 on the platform. So 9:05 to 9:40 my time. The platform is 1 hour behind, as you know, and then it'll push up at 12 o'clock. That's your push up at 12 o'clock there on the platform, 12:20. All right, that's your 12:20 there. And then you had 1:30 my time. Okay, That's the platform time. And then 5 o'clock is there, which is 4:35 on the platform. So that would have been it, as you can see. All right. So market making those levels. And I did say market's got potential to push until 7, which is 6 o'clock here. Well, it's still up there, as you can see. And that's the sudden move in Asia going boom back up and then spilling into Asia, as I said. All right, so not a lot of surprises here. If you want to do something, you can wait actually, or you can look for a sell at the PST targets, like up here, 54,217. There on the LCL1, 57,380, 86, which is 86? 86, why don't I have an 86 here? Okay, if you're using ATAM, maybe that's too high, that's why. If it comes back up here, it's again going to be a sell-off, okay, as you can see here. If it gets up there, the other option obviously is this monthly zone here, because once this closes the gap as well, they'll want to sell off a little bit and see how things pan out, okay? And that's it with Bitcoin. All right, so buying, you should do it at the lows. We can get rid of these actually. And if you want to do something like buying, you could do it around here in this zone. All right. And that's basically it. If it breaks below that, we've got room to come back down to 46. And all that at Astro Hours would be the way to go.